Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's hearing is long-distance co-parenting at its most petty. Dad's in Georgia, mentoring other people's children, but won't FaceTime his own. Mom's in Texas, but threw the child's first birthday party in Georgia, just down the road from Dad, yet somehow he didn't make the guest list. She's asking the court for 12 step-up visits. He's refusing all of it, insisting the occasional drop-ins is good enough. Let's watch as the court steps in to untangle this power struggle disguised as a parenting plan.
24 DFAM 347,183. This is in the interest of Bernard minor child, non-custodial party being Errol Bernard Jr., custodial party being Lashana Custom. This matters before the court on a original petition to see the affecting parent-child relationship with the parties having executed an acknowledgement of paternity. The court will note for the record that a copy of the acknowledgement of paternity showing the signatures of the party on this acknowledgement back on 10/17/23 is in the court file. Miss Custom signed a waiver that's been back in the file since 2024. Mr. Bernard was served in 2024 in Georgia and has appeared today's date. So the court has long-arm jurisdiction on this matter. So I'll ask the state for an opening to tell the court what the state's requesting we do here today and whether or not this is the final or attempt and what the parties are in agreement to and what they're in contest to. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would love a final order. The issues, I believe the money is agreed to. And my understanding is $351 guideline child support, $25 medical support. Miss Custom is active duty and carries TRICARE. Again, my understanding, the retroactive child support, the total is $7,044. And that would be repaid at, I'm sorry, I think there might be a dispute on the retro. I believe $6,644 is going to be the correct amount. I think that's after giving credit of $400, and so the requested repayment would be $84, Your Honor. The issues, as I understand them, I believe Ms. Custom is seeking 12 steps at each level. I don't believe that Mr. Bernard is in agreement with that, but I'll ask him. My understanding is that he's wanting first refusal due to the fact that Ms. Custom is active duty. Some complicating factors, Your Honor, are, as the court noted, Mr. Bernard is in Georgia, and then obviously the age of the child. I believe the child's going to turn 2 later this year.
All right, then. Yeah. The 12 visits is a stretch. I've never done that one before, and I've been doing this a while. I'm going to need to get some testimony, set up some, and sir, here's the other thing. Standard visitation is not usually, well, anything under the age of 3. I'm supposed to look at it after the age of 3, but this child is not 3 years old yet, so the court has to make something that as far as adaptation is concerned, and the court will do so. Again, ma'am, 12 is a little high. I need to know where Dad's located now, whether or not we're going to do some electronic visits going forward. Like I said, the child's only 1 year old, so there's not a lot that can be done that way to keep a child's attention that long. And as far as I think I saw that Mr. Bernard was at least in the military. I'm not sure if he still is or not. We'll find that out. And yes, ma'am, it is the usual legal requirement is first right of refusal always goes to a parent. All right, so that's the circumstance. But again, I've got to make sure that the child and the parent are well acquainted with each other before I get to that point. So let's find out what's going on here. Let me find out the logistics, and let's see what we're looking at doing. And I doubt this is going to be a final order, folks, based on these circumstances. So let's find out what this is, and I'll see whether or not this is going to be a final order, and also see whether or not I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent the child in this thing to do a complete investigation to confirm what the child's attorney thinks is in their client's the best interest going forward. So let's find out what the circumstances are. Let's find out what each of you can live with, and let's find out what the court can live with. So at this time, I'm asking both of you to unmute yourselves, turn on your video, ma'am, and both raise your right hands. Thank you. Can you turn your video on, Ms. Custom? Yeah, there you go. Thank you. All right. You both solemnly swear or affirm me testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and that but the truth so help you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, you're both officially on the oath. You can turn off your videos if you think it helps with the bandwidth. And go ahead and let the state call you both as witnesses. At the end of the hearing, if there's anything either you think that the court needs to know, I'll let you tell the court that information based on it being relevant and based on the fact that you are your own legal representatives in this matter, and you are entitled to make a closing statement or argument. You may proceed at this time, Mr. Diamond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call Ms. Custom. Ma'am, will you state your full name, please?
Lashana Custom.
And so let's talk about this case. So first of all, you're here in Texas. He's in Georgia. Did Mr. Bernard ever live with you and the child in the state of Texas?
No.
Was the child conceived here in Texas?
She was born in Texas, yes.
Okay. And maybe I missed this. He did complete an acknowledgement of paternity. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, it's in the
All
court
right.
file.
It is. Yeah. So it looks like we've got a Texas AOP.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that, Your Honor. All right. So Ms. Custom, let's start with the money because I think we have that worked out. So my understanding is that the agreement, $351 guideline child support, $25. I think I called it cash medical reimbursement. It's probably cash dental reimbursement to you. Do I have that right so far?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's, well, I'll get the particulars from Mr. Bernard. But then also my understanding, retroactive support, the total retroactive that was calculated, $7,044, and then giving credit for $400 that he gave you, total of $6,644. Is that your understanding, Ms. Custom?
Yes.
And then my request is that the court order Mr. Bernard to repay you $84 a month until that's paid off. Is my request acceptable to you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the harder part. So first of all, how old is your child?
1.5.
All right. What type of relationship does your child have with Mr. Bernard?
None.
All right. Is your child, or has Mr. Bernard ever gotten to see his child?
Yes.
Okay. How many times has Mr. Bernard seen the child?
He left when she was 2 weeks old. He saw her again in November.
Okay.
And for her birthday and when she turned 1.
Okay. So and I'm sorry, by saw, we're talking like a FaceTime visit. We talking about in person?
In person.
Okay. So does she know who she is or who he is?
Not at all.
Okay. All right. So my understanding is that you're requesting 12 steps at each level. Do I have that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And again, just I think it's obvious, but I need to ask it. You're active duty military. Is that correct as well?
Right.
Okay. All right. So so before I even get into the steps, so the first refusal, do you understand how that works?
No.
All right. So if you were deployed somewhere where you could not take your daughter, Mr. Bernard is, again, as I understand it, is seeking to have the right that if you can't keep her where you would be, that he be the one that gets to keep her until your deployment ends. Does that make sense?
And that's the rules.
That's typically the starting point. The court has the discretion to move off of that if given a reason. But
Okay.
the question is that something you agree or disagree with?
Disagree.
Okay. All right. And I take it that the reason you disagree is because he doesn't have enough of a relationship with your daughter?
Correct.
Okay. Are there any other reasons that need to be included?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the 12 steps at each, or the 12 visits at each step. Again, I'm guessing that the primary reason is because of a lack of a relationship. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So other factors that you want the court to consider.
Say that again.
So in addition to, that he's had very limited contact with y'all's daughter, are there other factors that you would like the court to consider before deciding whether or not to do 12 steps or something different?
No.
Okay. I will pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am. Are you still currently stationed at Fort Cavazos?
Me?
It's custom? Yes.
Yes.
All right, ma'am. And how much longer are you going to be stationed at Fort Cavazos?
3 years.
3 more years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there's no obviously no immediate plan for you to be get stationed to another duty station anytime in the next 3 years, correct?
Correct.
All right, so I can deal with you being in Texas for the next 3 years. Got it. All right, thank you very much, ma'am. I'll be back to you again in a moment. Mr. Diamond, you may call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call Mr. Bernard. Mr. Bernard, will you state your full name, please, sir?
Errol Bernard.
Solani.
All right, so let's talk about the same deal. Let's start with the money, and then we'll get into the visitation. I'm sorry, the possession and access, I should say. So first of all, my understanding is that you're self-employed and you're making roughly $3,500 a month. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then my understanding, I've calculated, well, I should say the state of Georgia charges income taxes. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm giving you, Ms. Rogers, who did these calculations, gave you a credit for likely taxes, $181.65. Um, and I'm getting ahead of myself again. How many other children do you have?
I have 4 other children, and I also have a stepson.
Okay. And my understanding is you're on support for 2 of them, and then 2 other ones live with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. All right, sir.
I'm on support for one of them. For one, not child support. It's just an agreement with me and my daughter's mom.
Okay,
I have custody of my oldest daughter. My 2 sons live with me, and then I have Ella, which is in Texas.
Okay, so I have it wrong. So 3 live with you. You pay support on a 4th.
Right.
All right. Sorry for the mistake,
and
sir.
stepchild, and is one of those 3 that live with you a stepchild, sir?
No, that's the 4th, the stepchild.
Okay, thank you. So that one doesn't count toward the child support count. Sorry, thank you.
And I'm sorry for the mistake, Mr. Bernard. So giving you credit for the 3 biological children that live with you and the 4th that you pay child support for, giving you credit for the Georgia income taxes, I calculate guideline child support of $351. Is that number acceptable to you?
I don't really care. I really don't care about how much money she wants from me. All I ever wanted was to have a relationship with my daughter. The $6,000 you guys talking about back child support.
Stop. This is how court of law works, sir.
I'm sorry.
You answered that question. Okay, you don't get.
Yes, that's acceptable. That's acceptable.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Everybody wants to take that football and run with it, but we got to do it one.
Hey, that's what I do.
So don't worry about it, sir. This is not the first time that's happening. It's not going to be the last time that's going to happen in this court. But anyway, I'll let the state proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I promise I'll give you the ball and get out of your way here in a minute. I have to ask a couple other preliminary questions. All right. So the $25, the dental support, that's acceptable as well.
That's fine.
And then total retro $6,644 with repayment of $84 a month is acceptable.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay. What should the number be?
I'm not. I don't have all my paperwork in front of me now, but I know for a fact, and she knows as well, that I have made attempts on sending her money. It might not be what she wants, but I made attempts. I sent her money. She would send it back. So I don't feel like that's acceptable. I don't feel like that's I should be penalized for that.
Okay, it's not a penalty, sir, but here's the deal. The custodial party does not have to accept any funds, direct funds that are not through the court disbursement unit or through the court order. Again, that's if there's no agreement, there's no agreement. Okay. Once I get in the court, then yeah, if she sent the money back after that, then yeah, that's your money at that point. But for right now, sir, again, unless it's a court order for it and there's an agreement to that as far as that is concerned, then technically, sir, yeah, you're still on the hook for what the child support would be based on what your earnings were at the time. Sorry.
No problem.
Right.
So, and I have maybe 3 or 4 more preliminary questions before I give you the ball and get out of your way. Um, so, are you current or former military, Mr. Bernard?
I'm not from a military at all. I'm just a very stoic individual. That's all.
Yes, sir. I understand. Um, well, you were talking about football. Are you a coach or a teacher or something like that?
I'm a mentor, sir. I'm a mentor and a trainer.
Okay. It just the court might waive the court costs because of that. So can you tell me like a sentence or two about the mentoring and the training?
I have a program called Heavy Starch. It means persevering through adversities using fortitude. Me and a friend just been building it from the ground up, and we mentor young boys and young football players, local football
Okay.
players, and
It's a youth thing, correct, sir?
yes,
Oh
something,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
sir.
that counts, Mr. Diamond. I'll waive his court costs based on that youth activities. That's not, yeah, that's above and beyond what most folks do. So no problem. Uh,
Yes,
You
Your
may,
Honor.
you may proceed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. So, all right. So then there was a question about how many times you've seen your daughter. So Miss Custom's testimony was y'all separated when the baby was about 2 months old. Was it 2 months or 2 weeks? And you've seen her once on her birthday. Agree or disagree with that statement?
Disagree.
Okay.
You
So
testified to 2 separate visits, though, Mr. Diamond. So not just that one.
I'm sorry. I stand corrected, Your Honor. So it should have, the
I
question
drove.
should have
I
been,
drove. I drove to Texas from Georgia. I actually moved them. I saw them twice to answer your question. Saw them twice to answer your question, but I drove to Texas to see her the second time. And then I saw her the third time when she was out here for her first birthday party, which I really didn't even get an invitation to. I found out through the grapevine, and I made it there. Yeah, and I saw her then. Yes. So
okay.
and yeah,
All right. So it sounds like you want to be involved in this child's life.
very much so. Very much so. Very much
Okay.
so. I would love to be.
Okay. So and it sounds like you feel like you've not been given an opportunity. Is that
Oh,
correct?
not at all, sir.
Okay.
Not even this much.
Okay. So this is where I hand you the ball and let you run with it. So why don't you tell
Okay.
the court the effort you made and
Okay, real quick, I got a question, sir. You said something where the court needs a clarification on. You said that there was a birthday party and you went there. Where was there?
Uh, it was in Atlanta. It was here. My daughter's first birthday was in Georgia at her sister's house, and I wasn't even formally invited. I kind of heard through it from her mom. Like I didn't even know she was having a party out here. I heard about it at the
Right.
last minute
Okay,
type
here's
thing.
the
Two,
all
3 days
right.
before.
All right. Does to the best of your knowledge, does the mother have any other family in Georgia in your vicinity, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right then. Thank you. I'll get that from. I'll clarify some of that. Mr. Diamond, I don't think this is going to be a final order. I'm probably looking at that item because we're gonna have to do some serious front loading here. But I'll let you go ahead and finish with the witness one way or the other. I didn't recall mom if necessary, but the court's looking at a temporary order on this one. This one's this is turning to be a little bit more complicated logistically than I thought it was going to be. So I'm gonna need some additional information before I make a final order for these folks. But you may proceed.
and unfortunately, Your Honor, I think I would be guessing at the kind of information that the court wants. It might be faster if the court were to elicit it because I'm going to be hitting and missing if I try to do that.
Okay. All right then. No, not really.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
happy to try.
All right. Well, sir, you said you saw the child. You went to the child's first birthday party, and that was in Georgia. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, how far from where you live did that take place?
30 minutes.
Okay, so
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
what city do you live in?
I live in the city of Covington.
And give me an idea. What's that? Is that near Atlanta? Are we over?
It's Metro Atlanta. The party took place in Stockbridge. Stockbridge from Covington is about 30 to 45 minutes, sir, depending on traffic. Her mother lives 10 minutes or 5 minutes from my mother's house where we met at. Yeah.
Let's stop right there. Okay, got it. So
I'm
yeah,
just being honest.
okay, the relationship started in Georgia, so but yeah, obviously she's in Texas now.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, got it. All right, thank you. And I remember there's no problem with long arm anymore because they signed that waiver that acknowledgement paternity. Otherwise, they might be, but no, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
No, that's my daughter, and that's my daughter. I'm willing to pay whatever I have to pay. If I don't have it, I don't have it. I'm still gonna do my best to give whatever I can.
Right.
I just want the opportunity. I want to be.
Right.
I want to be her father and her daddy as well.
All right. So you're making a closing statement now, and I'll save that for the closing statement. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Mr. Diamond, do you have any other questions just before I give Mom the opportunity to ask a couple of questions of Mom?
I guess I would just ask, Mr. Bernard, are there any kind of safety issues that the court needs to be aware of?
I don't want to jeopardize nobody's job, man. But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to put myself in any situations that'll be detrimental to myself.
Okay, here's the deal, sir. You can only testify to being an eyewitness to an item or something that the other party told you directly. Anything else is not, and it's got to be something that's relevant to what we're doing here today as far as the care and visitation and protection of your child. Okay, there you go.
No, Shauna's a great mother. Don't get it misconstrued. Shauna's a great mother. I'm talking about for myself. I don't want to put myself in any type of situation where I have to become compromised or have to protect myself. That's what I'm saying. It's the safety for me. I'm not talking about my daughter. My daughter's in great hands as far as a nurturer. You know what I mean?
Good enough. All right. Any other questions, Mr. Diamond?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, you there? You're muted again, Miss Custom.
I'm here.
All right. Which city do you live in, Miss Custom?
Tulane.
Okay. You don't live on post. You live out in clean city limits.
Correct.
All right then. All right then, folks. The problem, the main thing the problem we got to deal with is the distance and the young age of the child. You know, I do FaceTime visits and all this kind of stuff normally, when they get above 2, that makes it a lot easier. This child's going to be 2 soon enough. But I am going to look at going ahead and doing a temporary order on this one. It looks like Mom's going to be here a while. So I am going to go ahead and appoint a lawyer to represent the child in this matter. The new lawyer coming aboard is what's called an attorney ad litem / guardian ad litem. And that attorney is going to make recommendations what she feels is in her client's best interest going forward. Because I'm going to appoint Ms. Lambert as the ad litem on this one, Mr. Diamond. Normally, the ad litem would actually visit both homes, but sir, I'm not sending her on a trip to Georgia to have a good time on Bell County's dime to visit you in Georgia because Atlanta is a great place to visit as long as you stay out of the airport. But anyway, that's the court's personal opinion. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and appoint Ms. Chanel Lambert as your child's lawyer. That lawyer is going to visit with both of you, make considerations going forward. I'm looking at naming you both temporary joint managers and conservators. I'm giving Mom the right to decide where the child lives. I'm giving that right is unrestricted because of the military service. I'm going to go ahead and, like I say, appoint Ms. Lambert as the ad litem. For right now, distance is the killer here. Sir, normally I set up FaceTime visits every Sunday evening, 6 p.m. Central Time, which means 7 p.m. your time in Georgia. And the mom is ordered to have the child available. Again, when you're dealing with a 1-year-old, that I set it up for 30 minutes, but if you get 5 good minutes, you're going to be you're a better man than I am, because keeping a 1-year-old's attention for 5 whole minutes is not an easy task. But again, I'll set it up. I usually set it up for twice a week. But for right now, I'm looking at setting it up every Sunday at 6 p.m. going forward. and I'm looking at ordering, and you need to let mom know at least 72 hours in advance you're going to do that. But for this coming Sunday, I'm waiving that, and I'm setting it up automatically. Here's the deal. Do y'all do FaceTime? Do y'all do anything in particular? Because otherwise, I'm looking at putting y'all on a parenting app that has FaceTime, that has texting ability, that has everything that I need, and what for y'all need to communicate with each other. And it also lets the ad lad and me technically get any information from the parenting app. When it comes down to he said, she said, well, no, he said, I did an hour on this date, and she says, no, he didn't. Guess what? The app tells me whether or not you do it, and that lab could get a copy of that. So is there a particular way y'all like to communicate each with each other, or am I going to put you both on app close and let app close control? So
Sir, may I speak? May I speak?
I'm getting ready to ask the mom first that question, sir, and then I'm going to ask you. Ma'am, how do y'all communicate?
We don't.
Okay. Y'all app close. Yours was okay, sir. What's your comment?
I have no contact with her. I have no contact with her. I'm
Okay, here's the
making a
deal.
decision here.
Sir, stop.
Need to speak.
Here's the deal, sir. I'm going to put y'all on app close. I'm going to order that the mom
I don't.
download app close.
No. You don't have to.
Mr. I'm sorry,
You don't have to.
Mr. Bernard. You don't want to talk to your daughter every week.
Can I speak? Can I speak, please?
First
May
off,
I speak, sir?
Stop moving around. Stop moving around. You're messing with your. Here's the deal, sir. It's 5:10 in the afternoon. You're not a lawyer. This is not a. I'm going to let you speak, sir. But this is where I'm getting ready to end it, because I'm getting ready to add to take care of all this and take care of this for me. So speak, sir.
Me speaking to my daughter for 30 minutes on a Sunday is not going to build the type of relationship that she needs from her father at all. She's, like you said, she's 2 years old. Her mother really. Go ahead, sir.
Here's the deal, sir. You're going to fly. Here's the deal. Visitation is under Texas law. You've got to come to mom. If you understand that, you've got to come to mom, unless you've got lots of money.
I've done it before. I've done it before. I just haven't been able to, because she doesn't let me. I don't have no contact. I've done it before.
All right, sir. All right. So to stop. How often can you come to Texas to visit with your daughter? Once a month? Once every 2 months? What are we looking at? Give me something I can hang my hat on.
About once every 2 months, I could make that happen.
All right. And in the interim, you don't want to do FaceTime with your daughter?
It's not going to be effective. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not going to be effective.
Sir, here's the deal. I've been doing this a lot longer than you've been on the planet Earth. It's effective. To see your dad there on the screen every week, to get to remember your face, because you're coming by every 2 weeks at best, is reinforcement, sir. It's been proven to help. And
she doesn't know me. She doesn't know me to know that I'm her dad.
Okay, here we go. All right, Mr. Diamond, this has been set for a final hearing. I'm not going to do this on the docket day. I'm not going to argue with these folks. I'm going to go ahead and point the ad litem. I'm setting you people up for a special setting. I'm going to start looking at dates, because this is not getting me anywhere, and I'm the judge, and this is my courtroom, sir, and I get to make the rules. Understood? So here we go.
Sir.
So this hearing is over with for now, and but nobody leave, because I'm resetting this for a special setting, because you two don't get along. I've got to take care of it. So here we go. All right, what date do I have available where you're the only hearing I got, and I could put up with this and get this taken care of, and as well as giving the ad lad an opportunity to do her initial information, and setting up visitation and see what she feels is in her client's best interest going forward. And I'll let her know that you don't want to do FaceTime every week or twice a week, sir, as the norm is, and we'll deal with that I'll let her deal with that also. So what are my dates coming up in June that I have left?
Beg your pardon, Your Honor. It wouldn't be the only thing that day, but on June the 9th there's special settings. I only show one setting in the afternoon.
I don't do anything on Monday mornings, Mr. Diamond. That's my time to come into work and get things done. I don't do hearings on Monday morning, sir. So that's
yes,
that.
Sir.
I do have that coming Friday, the 13th. I got a 1:30, and I don't have anything. I do Friday morning hearings. Ms. Belinda, is there anything on Friday morning that I don't know about on the 13th of June? All right, my assistant's double checking with Friday morning, and let's see about, and we'll see whether or not Miss Lambert can make an appearance on that date also. All right then. All right, folks, we're gonna do this
So
on
you
Friday.
have a afternoon time, Friday the 13th?
No, ma'am, I've already got a hearing on the Friday the 13th in the afternoon. That's what I was saying. I've got Friday morning available. And yeah, I have all Friday morning available, but the afternoon's already taken, ma'am.
All right, I have class that day.
What time is your class?
8 to noon.
All right, then you just got the 12 noon slot, ma'am. Hopefully that means Miss Lambert can always come in on 12 noon. I'm gonna give this an hour and a half on that date. In the interim, I'm gonna have her contact you both. And folks, y'all gonna have to come up with something. Mr. Bernard, unless you got a private jet to fly you in every weekend and pick your daughter up like you want to get that relationship going, this is not going to work with you just coming in every 2 months. I'm going to tell you, that's not going to be, that's not practical. That's not going to work getting to know your daughter because, babies don't have that long of a memory. It's a proven fact. So the bottom line is you got to figure out something as far as electronics concerned because y'all live 2 states away from each other, and that's just the way it's going. That's just that's just your circumstances. So if you don't want that, then fine. But this is going to take longer because you don't want that, sir. And again, the ad litem is not, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to let the ad litem make recommendations to what she feels is in the best interest of her client going forward. After the meeting with both of you and determining what the circumstances are. She does this better than I do, so I'm going to give her the opportunity to tell the court what she wants, that she thinks is in the child's best interest. I'll set up the visitation packages, sir, that allow you to come in and see your child as necessary. But until we come back on the 13th, I'm not looking at doing anything going forward, Mr. Diamond. I'm going to hold everything in abeyance until the hearing at 12 noon on the 13th. Ma'am, is class over with at 12 noon?
Yes.
Wow, that's okay. So you'll have to go. And is that an online class or is that a live class on campus?
In person.
I'm sorry.
In person.
All right, you're probably looking at having going in the parking lot and getting it done and doing this hearing at noon, but that's the circumstance. Let me see if there's another time frame I have.
Your Honor, on the following, I think it's a Tuesday, the 16th. It looks like there's time in the afternoon. You've got you got that.
No, that's the 16th is fall is Comanche.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 16. No, it's not. It should be. Did we move Comanche? Yeah, we had to move Comanche from the second.
Because of that new computer system they asked.
Yeah, so we had to move Comanche to that third Monday instead of the second Monday. Why is nothing showing on Thursday the 12th?
And so, Your Honor, respectfully, I would actually, I think we've got a docket on the 12th.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We're having trouble with that docket disappearing on me on Zoom. Okay. All right. All right then. No, that's live land passes. I really don't want to put this all the way out to the 23rd in the afternoon, but I do have Monday the 23rd available in the afternoon also. Ma'am, how many days a week you have class?
My class ends July 4th.
Okay. You go every day?
Yes, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
All right. Again, okay. I really don't want to cram that into the lunch hour too much. I do, Mr.
The
Diamond.
13th is fine.
I'm sorry?
The 13th is fine at noon.
All right, then we'll go with the 13th on noon. For the next thing I need to know, the state needs your permission, both of your permissions, to give your attorney your contact information. In other words, your email and your phone numbers. Does the state have that permission, Mr. Custom?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Barnell, Mr. Bernard. Okay, who's that? Does the state have your permission to give your child's attorney your contact information, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right then. All right, then. Her name is Shania Lambert. She will be in contact. I'll let her know about that date. If she has a problem with that date, she'll let us both know, and we'll get back to y'all before that. But again, folks, y'all got to figure out how to deal with this long distance thing. And ma'am, I will let you know 12 visits at each level is just I've got it. Okay, it's just it's usually 6 at the most, and when dealing with long distance, it sometimes goes down to 4 to 5. So again, we get the practicalities of the circumstance, other practicalities. So anyway, but I'll let we'll come back on the 13th. I'll give y'all a whole hour and a half, and I'll even go into a little bit to the other hearing time frame. But I'll go ahead and set that up, and y'all be getting that reset order at this point. And Mr. Diamond, I'm gonna go ahead and make a temporary order for the child support and the cash medical and everything to start the first day of June. But we're holding everything else in advance until I get the ad litem on this one, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do as far as visitation. And I'm gonna hold in advance retroactive child. That's not this case. There wasn't a reason to hold in advance the retroactive child support in this matter and the judgment on such. Is there, Mr. Diamond?
I don't believe so. I think that Mr. Bernard's concern, actually both their concerns, like the court said, is the possession and access.
All right, then we'll go ahead with the temporary order dealing with the money and come back with the baby on the 13th, and hopefully, we'll see what the ad litem is recommended at that point, and see what we can figure out as far as how many times or how often Mr. Bernard can come to Texas to visit his daughter, and we'll get that set up appropriately. But folks, I'm going to let you know, AppClose is going to be in your life. Because, sir, you would have to send advance notice that you're going to do what you said you're going to do as far as your visitation is concerned. And I will always make that through AppClose so it can be confirmed by the court and the lawyers that it was sent, that the mom received it, and there's no excuse for it not happening. Okay, it's just confirmation upon confirmation through the parenting app. So if y'all have a secondary app that y'all want to take, that y'all prefer, then I'll let you do it. But whoever prefers, if there's a secondary app, AppClose is free. Secondary apps cost money, and I would order that the cost to go to whoever wants to do another parenting app instead of AppClose. But AppClose is free, and so that's the one I normally use. But y'all can start looking around to see if there's something else y'all want to use. But anyway, folks, 12 noon on the Friday the 13th. Zoom hearing, and I'm going to go ahead and make the Zoom code before I get out of here, and the state will have that in the reset order that you will receive. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Bernard. Questions, sir?
I could go?
I'm sorry?
I'm free to go?
No, sir. I asked if you have a question. I'm going to do that.
Oh, no, I have no questions. I have no questions. You guys will be contacting me via email or phone,
Okay.
right?
This question, yes, we'll do it via email. Miss Custom, anything else? Any questions?
No.
All right, Mr. Diamond, the party's excused, or you need them back in breakout?
Your Honor, I wasn't clear. Did the court want to keep the Sunday visits in case Miss Lambert meets with the parties and orders them to do that, or
No.
I guess doesn't?
I was going to do it. He doesn't want them.
Yes, sir.
All right.
No.
Yeah. Then based on the time, Your Honor, I have no objection to the parties being excused. But I will try to get this out tonight.
All right. Thank you. Everybody's free to go, and we're off the record.
The irony writes itself. Dad claims he wants to be involved, but thinks a few pop-ins are enough to build a bond. Mom says she's prioritizing structure while planning birthday parties across state lines. They both insist it's all about the child, but every move screams control, performance, and punishment dressed up as parenting. If he can mentor strangers but won't connect with his own daughter, is it really about altruism or image management with a halo? And if neither one is willing to bend, what exactly are they building for their child to grow up in? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gripping courtroom moments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.